and welcome to DH News. Today we'll be discussing about the UGC Regulations 2026. On January 13th, the University Grants Commission Promotion of Equity in Higher Education Institutions Regulations 2026 came into effect. This replaces a 2012 regulation. Ever since then, there's been a lot of protests, both online and in the streets. About this, Shemin, could you actually tell me what the Supreme Court has observed today?
In today's hearing, the apex court has orally observed that if it does not intervene in this particular case, because there are a lot of protests happening by a section of people, if they don't intervene, they would have, it would lead to a dangerous impact and divide the society. So they have stayed the regulations which were notified on January 13, which is the UGC QT regulations. The court has set a March 19 date for the next hearing, during which the government will further explain what is happening. These regulations have triggered protests at various places. Students groups have been up in arms against the regulations, claiming that it is discriminatory in nature, even though the regulations are aimed at having equity and ending discrimination in campuses, where we have seen a number of students committing suicide and all.
The objective of the bill is to eliminate discrimination on the basis of religion, race, gender, place of birth, caste, and disability, particularly against members of the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, socially and economically backward classes, economically weaker sections, and persons with disabilities. Sumit, if I could come to you, in your article today, which the headline reads, UGC caste bias rules put BJP in a bind as upper caste backlash grows. In your article, and I'm quoting you on this one, you have written that the UGC, the United Grants Commission to curb caste discrimination on campuses, has put the ruling BJP in a catch-22 situation. How does a regulation that demands equity put a ruling party in a bind? Can you just shed a bit light on this? For our viewers, I would like to actually mention below, we have actually given a link to Sumit's article. It's a must read. Sumit, please go ahead.
See, this particular regulation, which was notified by the UGC on January 13th, it supersedes an earlier regulation which was issued by the Universities Grants Commission in 2012. Now, in the 2012 regulation, the definition of discrimination was quite broad. If one were to go to that particular definition, it defined regulation more in terms of caste, gender, ethnicity. But in this particular case, there is a particular definition of caste-based discrimination, which is defined as discrimination only on the basis of caste or tribe against the members of the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and other backward classes. And also, this particular regulation makes it obligatory on the part of the institutions to set up equal opportunities commissions, and also there are punitive measures associated if the institution were not to act on the complaints to the committees which are set up to ensure equities. Now, one of the contentions of the people or the students group, especially the general category students, has been that the definition of discrimination as such, caste discrimination, it opens the entire concept for misuse against the general category students, and there are no provisions within this particular regulation wherein they can seek recourse to steps if it is misused deliberately to harass students, whose careers can be destroyed because of false complaints. These were apprehensions But this entire campaign started building up very slowly and quietly on the social media. And within 1 week, it had gathered a lot of momentum and pace. Unlike, I mean, it appears that, there has been a lot of physical protests also, but protests have been there, but very limited and sporadic, especially in Uttar Pradesh. And there was a protest at the UGC, not a big protest, but yes, there has been a protest. But what has really created a catch-22 situation for the BJP is that, this issue affects the youth, the younger
Okay.
generation. And also it affects two critical components of BJP's vote base, which is on one side is the upper caste vote base, and on the other side is the OBCs and the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, especially the OBCs. Now, if within this entire gamut of constituencies structure in this coalition, it can have or it can lead to uh, uh, an impact on the political outcomes, electoral outcomes. When BJP
Okay.
would be facing 5 or 6 Vidhan Sabha elections later this year, and they are up against a crucial Uttar Pradesh Vidhan Sabha elections early next year.
Okay.
These are very important states for the BJP midterm between 24 and 29. Which is why I think it was very evident why, with such alacrity, the Union HRD Minister or the Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan issued a clarification day before yesterday, saying that the government will ensure that these are not misused. But now the courts have stepped in to stay the implementation of these regulations.
Shemin, what has been the reaction of the opposition parties to the regular UGC regulation and the protests that have been happening against it?
See, all the opposition parties are welcoming the UGC regulations. They are not particularly happy with the stay given by the Supreme Court. So they are happy that the ruling BJP is in a bind over this issue, but they want this regulation. They think that these regulations are important. See, only this morning, when just before the Supreme Court was hearing this case, MK Stalin, the DMK chief and Tamil Nadu chief minister, come out with a lengthy post supporting these regulations. He has said that, yes, well, I'll just read out one line from this thing. Since the BJP came to power at the center, there has been a visible rise in student suicides within the higher education institutions. He goes on to say that the stated goals of dismantling caste discrimination and the inclusion of OBCs within this framework, that is the UGC regulations, deserve support. He also refers to the case of Rohith Vemula and saying that even the vice chancellor there also faced allegations. So he is in some, he as well as other opposition parties, particularly the parties that follow the social justice path, are in support. So yesterday, the CPM issued a statement raising questions, saying that it was not these regulations are welcome, but like it needs to go beyond this thing. So they also question the mechanism. Question the mechanism in the sense like it is put the ambit of like the UGC has been given the power to form certain appellate commissions and all. They are saying again. They also raise the issue of the VCs and others themselves becoming the perpetrators of alleged discrimination. So opposition parties welcome these regulations, but they want a bit stronger regulation.
What has been the Congress's reaction to this?
Incidentally, surprisingly, the Congress has not come up with a statement on this particular regulations. Even though Rahul Gandhi was posted a very long tweet on Rohith Vemula's death anniversary, discussing these issues of discrimination and all. Even the Congress has spoken about enacting a Rohith Vemula Act when it comes to power and all. But surprisingly, there was no statement on this protest and all. And maybe in a couple of days, they may be forced to come out to open about the stand on the regulations.
I'll take it from there. Sumit, Shemin has mentioned that Congress has not reacted openly and in a couple of days might be forced to react. Does this actually show how sticky an issue it is for not just the BJP but any political party how to address this? I'm given to, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, the change over here, major one, is that enforceability has come in from the 2012. When you look at the 2012 regulation, the 2026 one, a clear enforceable timeline has been given, and the OBCs and the EWSs have been added to the list. Is that really the point of contention here? Could you throw a bit light on
I
that?
think for the Congress, I mean, it's a contentious issue, and it's surprising or also speaks about the sensitivity of the issue that they have tried to wade away. I mean, not get into this entire controversy, though it is the party which has been most vociferous on seeking caste census. The two Congress governments in Karnataka and Telangana have drafted bills, the Rohith Vemula bill on the caste discrimination, against the caste discrimination on campuses. But on this particular issue, the party has maintained up till now, a conspicuous silence. I guess they understand that in the months ahead, they will be facing elections in some northern states as well, especially Uttar Pradesh. And the way this entire issue has snowballed into a major controversy, I think the Congress seems to have evolved a strategy that it is politically prudent for it to stay quiet for the moment and let BJP take the flag, which is in power. I mean, if one were to look at the politics of the Congress or try to gauge why there has been no reaction from the Congress party. But yes, for a party like DMK, there is no political compulsion like that. Their constituency is confined to Tamil Nadu. For the left parties, they are facing only election in Kerala. And their constituency is entirely clear for the DMK that it is the social justice constituency, it is the traditional Dravidian politics that they follow, and which is why they're going to go hammer and tongs on it. So I think the reactions of the political parties on this particular issue are defined by their
Okay.
compulsions, as far the electoral compulsions in the months ahead, especially in 2026 and early 2027.
Does this actually show how complex OBC politics is and how parties are voting them as a vote bank?
No, see, it's not just the OBCs. If you look at it, there are it's it caters to not just the OBC. It's a scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and the OBC population and the
Yes.
upper caste population.
The
When you
reason
look
the
at the
reason why I
percentage
only
population,
focused on the reason why I focused only on OBCs is that the SCSCs have
I think
already
it's
been.
no. I think it's the entire the social justice concept,
Okay.
which is the issue here. Because when you're talking about scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and the OBCs, you're talking about almost three-quarter of the total population of the country.
Okay.
And when you're talking about OBCs, then OBCs also include a large section of Muslims, because
Okay.
the large section of Muslims, a majority of the Muslims are in the OBC category also. So
Hmm.
when we're talking about discrimination, it is discrimination that includes, if it includes the OBC, then it includes the OBC Muslims also. So, which is why there is, it has political ramifications. And in the past, we have seen that political parties from 1989 or even before that, whenever there have been student movements, especially on campuses, on issues of
Okay.
employment reservations or the government affirmative action, it has had political fallouts and huge political fallouts. And I'm talking about the post independence history of India, the contemporary politics of India in the last 50, 60 years. It has spanned over that. And we've seen that even during the UPA 1 regime, if you remember, the reservations in the higher education,
Hmm.
which was pursued by the then education minister Arjun Singh, it led to huge protests and it had its electoral ramifications. And Congress at that point in time, there were divisions within the Congress also which opposed it. But I think ultimately the Congress went ahead with it and they gained politically out of it. BJP has been very clear and very nimble and sensitive on these issues. Even in the last 10 years, whenever such issues have come up, there was one issue when in a Supreme Court order, a particular judge also commented or observed on the extending the criteria of the creamy layer criteria for the scheduled caste reservations. The Union Cabinet, that is the Modi government, they passed a resolution in the cabinet saying that this this concept is entirely for the OBCs and not for the SC/STs. So there is a very clear understanding within the political system across party lines that these issues are very, very sensitive. They can have large, widespread ramifications and deep ramifications, and one has to tread very, very cautiously. The political history of India is replete with such examples.
The final question, I'll pose it to both of you. How do you see the major political parties reacting here on? What do you think will be their approach towards this? Sumit, and after that, Chandan.
Well, I think the BJP would hope that this entire protest dies down once the Supreme Court has intervened. It has not had to do anything. See, even for the BJP, had it gone back, this government would have rescinded this particular regulations. Again, that would have sent across a wrong message to the SC/ST and the OBC community. Even if it would have assuaged the sentiments of the general category students. So I think if Supreme Court has intervened, it is the third party or a neutral party which has stayed the order. BJP and the government would hope that this entire protest dies down, and over a period of time, some remedial measures are taken, or a way out is explored, so that this controversy stays where it is, and it doesn't spin out of control or doesn't become a political or an electoral issue. Likewise, Congress, I think, has understood the sensitivity of the matter, which is why they are very, very quiet. As I said, the Congress is the party which has brought bills in two states, state governments, and we haven't heard from them in the last 24 hours.
See, I'll completely agree with what Sumit said. See, only on January 17, Rahul Gandhi made an eloquent post on Rohith Vemula on his death anniversary. So 7 days, 8 days later, we see, I won't say radio silence. Leaders are speaking on the issue, but none of them want to come on record, or for obvious reasons. So, but at the same time, I would say that Congress and other opposition parties are enjoying BJP's discomfiture on this particular issue.
Okay, and when is the Supreme Court next hearing it? What's the date?
It is on March 19th.
March 19th.
If I may just add here, see, it's the entire issue here is that Rohith Vemula's mother and mother of another student who died by suicide, they have accused the Supreme Court, saying that the entire controversy or the entire UGC 2012 regulations were ineffectual, asking the courts to intervene. And on the basis of the court's observations and directions, the union government and the UGC had come up with this entirely new set of framework, which is the 2026 regulation. So this hearing is going to continue, and I think that petition will also come up in the month of March.
In the days ahead, we'll actually get to know what course this takes. The Supreme Court hearing will continue. The political reactions for this will be muted, but there definitely is a story in itself. For all the stories and analysis regarding the UGC regulations 2026, do log into deccanherald.com. You can also see the latest videos on our YouTube channel. If you've not subscribed, you can consider subscribing. Press the bell icon so that the next time a video drops, you'll be notified. Until then, good day.